Every bale of Timothy hay has a past, not just a few months ago when it was cut and dried in a field, but centuries ago, long before your barn existed, long before your horse was born, long before anyone ever thought to feed hay in neat, square bales. Because Timothy grass hay did not begin as feed. It began as a wild plant, growing quietly in the grasslands of Europe and Asia. And over time, through human movement, agriculture, trade, and science, it became one of the most important forages in the world. Today, we are not just asking what Timothy hay is, we are asking where did it come from, how did it spread across continents, what is happening inside the plant and inside your horse when it is eaten. Because once you understand that, you will never look at hay the same way again. Long before it was called Timothy grass, this plant existed as part of a natural ecosystem across Europe and temperate regions of Asia. It grew in open meadows. It shared space with wildflowers, other grasses, and grazing animals. And evolved under pressure. Cold winters forced it to survive freezing temperatures. Grazing animals forced it to regrow quickly after being eaten. Seasonal cycles forced it to store energy efficiently. And this is where one of its most important biological traits developed: the corm. Unlike many grasses, Timothy stores its energy in a swollen base just above the roots. This structure allows it to survive cutting or grazing, regrow quickly, maintain resilience year after year. This was not designed for farming. It was designed for survival. But centuries later, it would become the reason farmers chose it. The story of Timothy grass changes dramatically in the early 1700s. As European settlers crossed the Atlantic into North America, they did not come alone. They brought plants with them. Some were intentional seeds carrying for farming, others were accidental, hidden in hay, bedding, or animal feed. Timothy grass was among these travelers. By 1711, it was already growing in New England. At that time, it was not called Timothy. It was known as herd grass. It was simply one grass among many. But farmers began to notice something. It grew well, it produced consistent forage, and most importantly, it came back after being cut. That one trait made it different. Then came a turning point. A man named Timothy Hansen, a farmer in the American colonies, began to do something that changed the future of this plant. He did not just grow it, he recognized its value. He began cultivating it deliberately, harvesting it as hay, and crucially, selling its seed. This is where Timothy grass stopped being a wild plant. Seed distribution meant expansion. Fields that had never seen this grass before were suddenly planted with it. And over time, the name changed. Herd grass became associated with Hansen, and eventually it became known as Timothy grass. By the mid 18th century, it was no longer just present in North America. It was spreading rapidly. As agriculture expanded, Timothy seed became a commodity. Cities like Baltimore became major hubs for seed trade. Farmers would harvest seed from mature Timothy plants, clean it, and process it, and sell it across regions. And with every bag of seed sold, the plant spread further. Timothy grass began appearing across northeastern United States, Canada, eventually the Midwest, and later on other parts of the world. It adapted well to cooler climates. It thrived in fertile soils. And it fit perfectly into the growing need for reliable livestock feed. This was not accidental. This was selection. Farmers were choosing Timothy because it worked. At the center of this entire story is something incredibly small: the seed. Timothy seeds are tiny, almost dust-like, but each one contains everything needed to create a full plant. Inside each seed is an embryo, stored nutrients, genetic instructions. These seeds develop inside the plant's cylindrical flower head, which is made up of tiny, tightly packed spikelets. Timothy grass is wind pollinated. This means it does not rely on insects. Instead, pollen moves through the air, allowing plants to cross pollinate and create genetic diversity. This diversity is critical because it allows the species to adapt to new climates, resist disease, and evolve over time. Every field of Timothy hay you see today is the result of millions of these seeds working together. Once planted, Timothy grass begins a carefully structured growth process. In early stages, it focuses on leaf production, nutrient density, rapid growth. But as it matures, its biology shifts. It begins building a structure. Cell walls thicken, fiber increases, and key compounds develop. Cellulose and hemicellulose are digestible fibers. Lignin is not. And this is where hay quality is determined. The longer the plant grows, the more lignin develops. The more lignin develops, the less digestible the hay becomes. This is why timing of harvest is everything. Farmers are not just cutting grass, they are deciding how much nutrition versus structure ends up on your bale. Now the shift begins from the plant to the horse. Because all of this history and biology only matters because of how it interacts with the horse's body. Horses evolved to eat forage almost constantly. Their digestive system is built around fiber. Inside the hindgut, microbes break down fiber into usable energy. Timothy hay supports this perfectly because it provides consistent fiber, moderate energy, and long chewing time. Chewing produces saliva. Saliva buffers stomach acid. Fiber feeds microbes. Microbes produce energy. It's a chain reaction. And when it works well, the horse stays healthy. Today, Timothy grass is no longer just a traditional crop. It is studied, tested, and refined. Modern varieties are bred for yield, digestibility, climate adaptability. Scientists analyze it for fiber fractions, sugar content, and mineral balance. But even with all of this advancement, the foundation has not changed. It is still the same plant, still grown from seed, still shaped by the same biological processes that begin in wild European meadows. So, what is Timothy grass hay? It is history, it is biology, it is agriculture. It is the story of a plant that traveled across oceans, was shaped by farmers, and became one of the most important feeds in the horse world. And the next time you see a bale of hay in your barn, you are not just looking at dried grass. You are looking at centuries of movement, adaptation, and survival, all packed into something your horse will quietly eat, one bite at a time.